made something of herself, and you can't take it because she's strong, beautiful, and black.
My songs is your favorite song.
Strange Fruit.
It's a song about important things, you know, things that are going on in the country.
We are talking the United States versus Billie Holiday.
Can I keep my control?
If you've never seen this movie, basically it is about Billie Holiday, who was a jazz singer, and she was targeted by the United States because she had this certain song called Strange Fruit that, I don't know if I can actually say this and not get banned. The song Strange Fruit was about what was happening in the South at that time, back in the 40s, 50s, where black people were being attacked and, you know, killed by a certain group. And so one of the ways that this was happening was mentioned in the song, and the United States government did not want Billie Holiday to perform this because it was letting everyone know what was actually going on. So that is kind of like the premise of this movie. And watching this is so jacked up. Like, while you're watching this movie, you see multiple times how the government set her up, or how they got people in her life to set her up. Like, there's one scene where her husband at the time, he ended up partnering with the government to get her arrested. And so he's like, I have a gift for you. And so he gives her a gift, and in it is drugs. And she's like, I don't want this. And because she's, at that time, she's sober, she's not doing it. She's moved on in her life. And her husband gives her the box, and it just so happens when she's like holding it, the agents break in and she ends up getting arrested when she didn't even do anything. She was set up. And then it's like they jump to the end. There's like this agent who is like focused on taking her down. Like, that's his goal in life. Like, I'm taking down Billie Holiday. Basically on her deathbed in 1959, because she was in a hospital due to liver cirrhosis, he basically ends up arresting her. And so when she dies, she ends up still being in custody. But yeah, he arrested her because he's like, we found heroin on her. Even though I don't think they did. And based on the movie, they set her up again to take the fall. Because they were like, if they can eliminate Billie Holiday, they can get rid of this song that they don't want her to sing, because the government was already trying to stop her from singing the song. And she's like, people need to understand what's going on, because that is the truth for so many people right now. And to try to hide what's going on is not okay. So she was like, I'm going to keep on singing it. And yeah, so this movie, honestly, I feel like every time I watch this movie, I kind of have to, once it's done, I have to go and listen to the OG Billie Holiday, actually listen to Strange Fruit. So if you have not heard the song, I think you should, because it talks about what was going on at that time and what our ancestors were experiencing. And so I always have to personally like take a second and actually listen to it and kind of just get in the moment and kind of just see what Billie Holiday sacrificed to allow everyone to know what's going on, because that to me is deep. It's really, really deep. One of the things too is I feel like so many people in Billie Holiday's life failed her, and like all of her guys that she's in relationships with, they all let her down at some point. Most of them like worked with the government to take her down. One was acted like he was like in love with her. He was like her friend. And then he turned out to be a black undercover agent and set her up to get arrested initially. And then at the end, he's like, oh, what I did was wrong. Like Jimmy Fletcher. And according to the movie, he spent the rest of his life feeling bad for trying to take down Billie Holiday. Guy, Lester Young, who, if you watch my other videos, you already know I like me some Tyler James Williams. So he's in this movie too. And I feel like he was the one guy in Billie's life that didn't let her down, but Billie let him down. And there's like this part where she just ditches him and everyone to go to this other abusive guy because they had run out of gas on the side of the road, and she just ditches them and she's like, I'm gone. And so honestly, Lester Young was the one guy that did not let Billie down, but Billie kind of let him down in the end and was not there for like the family, and she just kind of threw him aside for something better, essentially. And that's also another lesson in this movie, because there's like this whole thing where Jimmy Fletcher has like his come to Jesus moment, and he realizes like what he is doing and working with the agency is not okay. So he's like, okay, I need to turn around, do right by Billie. And so they're getting into a relationship. They're starting to like realize they love each other. And Billie realizes that the relationship she has with Jimmy, who is a guy that's treating her nice, is not safe for her, because she doesn't feel safe in a good relationship. Like, she's used to bad relationships, and that makes her feel safe. And so she like has that moment where she's just like, I love you, but I love you so much I have to let you go because I'm not good for you, essentially, just because she knows she's not used to a good relationship. Like, she has never had that in her life. And so she like leaves Jimmy. She's like, you deserve a woman who will be good for you, who will be there for you, and that's not me. And I did honestly think that that was deep, because it takes a lot to know that you can't be there for someone. But at the same time, the guy she chose to go with is another guy that ended up setting her up in the end. And honestly, this whole movie, it just made me mad, because once again, it is a movie, but based on what I have looked into, I do think this was actually like kind of real, and she was targeted because of this song, Strange Fruit, and that's just kind of like jacked up. Like, she spent her life trying to do the right thing in regards to the song, and she was punished for it. So let me know in the comments if you have watched The United States versus Billie Holiday. And yeah, I'll see you for my next video. This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noelle.